if there was any doubt that the upcoming fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford will be an all-out war. Those doubts were erased during the official face-off for the fight. Things got so bad during the face-off that security had to rush in between the two fighters as they kept getting closer and closer to each other, and ultimately, they even had to push Canelo off of Terence. During the face-off, Canelo is heard saying, "You are very overrated," before security rushes in. For their part, Terence Crawford heard this and responded by saying, "I am gonna go to your backyard and beat you in front of your own people." This really seems like a case of the trash talk going beyond the usual boxing banter and actually being personal. Fans on social media went absolutely crazy over this moment, with many claiming this is the most intense face-off they have seen in years. If you're looking to get into sports betting, there isn't a better time than right now. With the Canelo vs. Crawford fight coming up soon, there are plenty of opportunities to make some money on the fight. Before we get to the moment during the face-off, though, let's take a look at what happened during the press conference. The press conference started off with some technical difficulties, which delayed the start of the event. When it finally began, though, the four fighters in attendance, Canelo, Crawford, Jermell Charlo, and his brother and trainer, Jason Charlo, took their seats. Canelo was seated directly across from Terence Crawford with only a table in between them. The tension was palpable between these two fighters as they continued to stare each other down even when the questions were directed towards them. At one point, Canelo even gestured towards Terence and said, "He's cute," which drew some laughter from the crowd. It was clear, though, that the four fighters in attendance were not messing around, and things could easily boil over at any moment. After about 20 minutes of back and forth between the fighters, the moderator announced it was time for the face. Canelo stood up, walked slowly towards Terence Crawford, and reached out his hand to shake his opponent's hand. But Crawford simply ignored him. Canelo then shook the hand of Jermell Charlo before turning back to Crawford. By this point, the tension in the room was so thick you could cut it with a knife. The two stared each other down for several seconds with neither man backing down. Finally, someone from Canelo's team stepped in and grabbed him, pulling him away from Crawford. As the two fighters were separated, Canelo could be heard saying, "You are very overrated." This seemed to enrage Crawford even more, and he responded by saying, "I'm gonna go to your backyard and beat you in front of your own people." This was too much for Canelo, and he charged towards Terence Crawford, nearly taking him out. Fortunately, security was quick to react, and several men rushed in between the two fighters. They pushed Canelo back to his chair while others restrained a furious Crawford. It was clear that if security hadn't stepped in when they did, there was a good chance that the two would have come to blows. As you can imagine, fans online went crazy after seeing the footage of the near brawl during the face. One fan wrote on Twitter, "That moment when Canelo realized he couldn't reach Crawford and started walking back was priceless. What a king." Another added, "This is why I love boxing. No fake stuff. All heart and emotion." The best matchup in 2023, without a doubt. A third fan commented, "For those who think Crawford won't show up for the Canelo fight, think again. He's already in Vegas and training hard. Canelo better watch out because Terence Crawford is bringing his A-game to this fight." There were also plenty of fans praising security for stepping in when they did and preventing a full-on brawl between the two fighters. One fan wrote, "I don't blame Canelo or Crawford. Both are warriors. However, I blame the organizers. There shouldn't have been a face-off in the first place. They should have known better." Fortunately, security was there to save the day. Another added, "Imagine if they actually fought right there. It would have been the craziest thing ever witnessed. Imagine the headlines! Two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world nearly come to blows at the press conference ahead of their highly anticipated matchup." One fan joked about the situation, writing, "If Canelo and Crawford can't control themselves at the press conference, how are they going to do it inside the ring? Security needs to be on high alert for this one." Another added, "We need a bigger cage for the Canelo vs. Crawford fight. These guys almost came to blows at the press conference. Who knows what's going to happen when they're both in the ring together." Now, it is worth noting that Canelo's team quickly apologized for his actions during the face, stating that he was provoked by Crawford's comments and that's why he lost his cool. Whether or not this is true doesn't really matter in the end. Canelo still has to answer for his actions, and he could have seriously injured himself or one of the people around him by charging at Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed, and the situation was diffused before things could get really ugly. Despite this incident, it looks like the fight between Canelo and Crawford is still on. The two fighters are scheduled to face off against each other on September 2023 in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is sure to be one of the most highly anticipated fights of the year, and it will be interesting to see how it all plays out. While Canelo is a heavy favorite to win the fight, Crawford is definitely not one to count out. He is a former unified welterweight champion, and he has shown that he is more than capable of hanging with the best in the world. So, don't be surprised if Crawford pulls off an upset victory against Canelo. As the fight date approaches, we can expect the trash talk between the two fighters to intensify. This will only add fuel to the fire and make for an even more exciting matchup. If you're a fan of boxing, you won't want to miss this one. It has all the makings of an instant classic. Do you think Canelo will apologize to Crawford for what happened during the face-off? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We want to thank you for watching today's video. We truly appreciate your support and we hope you enjoyed the content we provided. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like these. Thanks again for watching and we'll see you next time.